Yes, it's a fixture that never disappoints, and back at the Dome for the first time since last season's grand final, there's a sense of desperation in the air. No victories in 4 for Melbourne, while the champions are winless all season and rooted to the bottom of the table. It's once again a high-stakes clash in the 20th edition of the Big Blue. Let's check on the team news. And after losing last week's first ever Melbourne derby, Ernie Merrick responds by making 2 changes. Surat Sukha is out with a back injury, while Lee Broxham drops to the bench, allowing recently naturalised Aussie Grant Brebner to return to midfield, while Mate Degunjic is the other inclusion. The youngster destroyed Sydney in round 1, providing the spark for 3 goals in 7 minutes, and the coach is hoping for a repeat performance. A 3-4-3 from Ernie Merrick. And despite extending their winless streak to 9 games against the Reds a fortnight back, coach Vidislav Levitska makes just 1 change. Scott Jamison's late 22nd birthday present is a spot on the bench, with grand final shootout hero Bjorn preferred at left back, while Nick Carl has to be content with a spot on the bench. It's another big night for Sebastian Ryle, and it's easy to forget the quiet achiever has won the last 2 grand finals with both of these clubs. Neither Sydney or Melbourne have looked like championship contenders in the current campaign. But what better way to kickstart a season than with a win over your bitter rivals? That's why the travelling Cove have come in good numbers. Some drastic surgery needed by Sydney FC to turn their season around. They can't even get off the bottom with a win tonight, but they need the 3 points. Really good atmosphere on the Unite night for the Melbourne victory. The drums are pounding and the hearts are starting to thump a little too. Ben Williams just biding his time before he brings the teams out into this cauldron. Liam Reddy and Kevin Musker can even share a bit of a joke at this stage. There'll be no pleasantries out on the pitch though. Terry McFlynn focused and determined to turn their season around tonight.
Nice and straight, nice and straight.
Now they're finally on their way. 79 yellows and 4 reds head-to-head down the years between these two. Another fiery encounter expected. And yes, the fireworks will be on the pitch too. Kick-off is coming right up. Join us after the break. A good night to be at the Dome with the roof shut. It's been terrible weather in Melbourne over recent days. A heavy 8 at Caulfield for the Caulfield Cup, but described as a dead 4 on a wonderful pitch here for the players to turn out on a ground which hasn't always been that way through the years. Ben Williams in charge of a Melbourne victory game for the 2nd week in a row. He was in charge of the derby last week, of course, the Heart 2-1 winners on that night. And Ernie Merrick compared last week's loss to losing a grand final. And that's just what happened last time. He squared off with Vidislav Levitska at this venue. But now Sydney's coach is so desperate for a win, he's vowed to climb the giant coat hanger and conquer his fear of heights if they can claim all 3 points tonight. Perhaps a man named Bridge can see to that. He scored 3 goals against Melbourne at this venue last season, including the opener in the GF. But he and Carlos Hernandez are both goalless in the current campaign. Can they break their droughts tonight? Who would have thought the Costa Rican and Johnny Warren medal winner would still be goalless so far this season? Saying during the week that he wants the kicking to stop. He's been copping plenty from opposition players, targeted, as Ernie Merrick said, because he was the best player in the comp last season. Kevin Muscat, who fired up his troops in front of the Victory away fans last week at Amy Park, but the fans are a long way away this week, so just the conventional huddle, midfield if you like. And a measured chat this week from the man who said every player needs to be looking over their shoulder now. And after that loss and a disappointing start to the season, spots are on the line. And why wouldn't you bring that up? 5 years to the day since that 5-0 mauling at Olympic Park. Kevin Muscat, 2 penalties on that day. Travelling Cove letting their voices be heard as well. And we're underway in the 20th edition of the Big Blue. But an argument to be said that maybe a card could have been shown for that challenge. McFlynn certainly thought so. Tug of the shirt from Bridge.
Well, it's all about intent, Speedy. Brebner would have been telling Ben Williams that he was going for the ball, and I'm sure Ben Williams would have said that, no, you weren't.
Is that from personal experience, Roscoe?
I've had a run-in with both players, McFlynn and Brebner. Both great guys, but very fierce competitors.
Hernandez. Good delivery too. And Ronnie Vargas. Well, they took one off him in the grand final, but they're not taking this one off him. 1-0 to the Victory, and look what it means to them.
Was that man Hernandez with a wonderful floated ball into the box, the same areas where they've been putting the ball in time and time again. And Roddy Vargas popping up at the right time, just getting enough on the ball. Too much for Liam Reddy. Those balls do come thick and fast when they get flicked on. Lovely flick. Wonderful goal by the Melbourne Victory.
Might be able to start another counter here through Dugunjic. This time he links with Hernandez. Man over on that left-hand side. Not a bad ball either. Here he is! Listen to the roar. Finally, the drought is broken. Carlos Hernandez with his first of the season, and he's going to lap this one up.
The man who scored 13 goals last season for the Melbourne Victory, finally on target. He's done everything else in this game, and now he's got a goal to add. Beautiful diagonal ball into Hernandez from Pondulyak, unmarked. You would say that the Sydney FC bench and supporters will be very disappointed in the marking on Hernandez, but a wonderful goal. Great to see Hernandez get back on the scoring sheet.
And it didn't come from the explosive right boot. It comes from the head of Carlos Hernandez, his first goal since February 18 in the first leg of the semi-final. And confirmation over the PA, just drums it in. Hernandez knows he's off the mark and up and running. We've seen some dramatic late comebacks in the Hyundai A-League, but this would just about take the cake if Sydney FC can get something out of this game. Not going to get it by passing backwards. Now Keller, can he make something happen? Kazari brought it down for McFlynn. Was just about to release Bridge into space, but Brebner broke things up. Pondulyak, lovely vision, good awareness to release Cruz. Can he kill Sydney FC off? Here's the goal. Hernandez was there, but he didn't touch it. He didn't take it away from Robbie Cruz, who gets his goal to round things off. 3-0 is a fitting scoreline for their performance tonight.
Robbie Cruz, 6 games, 3 goals, 1 assist. Scoring again. A wonderful counter-attacking move from the Melbourne Victory. Beautiful ball into Robbie Cruz. from Tommy Pondalyak, almost a no-look pass, catching Sydney up the field. And Robbie Cruz hitting the ball across the keeper, across Liam Reddy, who cut the angle to his near post, gets a hand to it. If it wasn't going to go in the goal, there was a Melbourne Victory player at the back post to make sure it did.
And that player, Carlos Hernandez, is a very lucky man that he didn't do a Phil Babb on us and wind up straddling that post. Still we go on. You wonder if it's really necessary. The game is long gone. Cole. Petkovic. Directing to the last. And Cruz skipping away from Keller. No one really joining in the middle, so Cruz having to do a lot of it on his own. And then finding Hernandez. Trying to dig one back to Cruz. Onside he was, but couldn't control. And there is the full-time whistle. Melbourne Victory back on track and up and running with perhaps a season-defining victory. 3-0 winners on the night over Sydney FC, and perhaps most importantly, Carlos Hernandez is up and running in Season 6. He's off the mark, hit the post as well. He played his hand in the other goals. And the Melbourne Victory back at Etihad Stadium at the scene of their grand final loss gained some kind of revenge with an emphatic victory over the champions who are struggling. It may well be crisis time now for the champions. At full time here at the Etihad Stadium. Melbourne Victory 3, Sydney FC 0.